So I am home from the gym and I'm just sitting here. And before dinner, I'm reading a little bit of Walden by Thoreau here, or rather, I'm trying to read a little bit of Walden with some obvious Google searches here and there. And I've come to a grim realization, an epiphany, some would say. I'm just kind of awestruck at the fact that, well, I'm awestruck by his writing. But the grim realization I've made is we do not produce writers like this anymore. I don't think people even, I don't believe rather, that people think to this depth anymore. And I think that is the outcome of phones, social media, just easy gratification where I don't think people have hobbies anymore and they don't spend time with their mind anymore. Because why would you? Why would you sit there and why would you pontificate? Why would you think deep? Why would you ever work through your own thoughts when you could just easily get distracted from some pretty surface level entertainment? You know, you're not going to ask yourself the hard hitting questions that you should be asking yourself. When you feel a little bit of mental discomfort, you're not going to sit there and try and work through it. Instead, you're just going to hide it. You're going to push it down and just stack TikTok trends, algorithms, and just stack all that on top of your feelings. We won't get a man like this anymore. When he was writing this book, or set out to write this book, he locked himself away for 2 years. He built a cabin a mile outside of Concord, Massachusetts, in the woods. And he pretty much essentially isolated himself. He had friends and family over from time to time, but his main goal was to get back to nature and to just free himself of all distractions so he was able to think. Now, that's pretty extreme, obviously, to do that, but I think as men, we all have that little dream of, like, what if we just made a cabin in the woods and built a little shelter to live in and we could write our feelings and such. At least I've had that feeling, but it just saddens me that I don't think we'll have people like, Thoreau, Steinbeck, Nietzsche. We definitely won't have men like Plato, Aristotle, Socrates. And I think that is the negative to social media and such. And I could talk about it and complain about it as much as I want, but this is coming to you through social media. So obviously I'm a fan of it. You can't hate on it. But I'm not a fan of this short form, just snappy, in your face editing, like, oh my god, that type of content, because I really think it's dragging us away from what humans are good at. We're good at being introspective. We're good at sitting with our thoughts. And humans are good at being innovative. And I don't feel we have innovative thoughts anymore. I genuinely don't. I don't think people are... how do I put this? Like Freud, Sigmund Freud. He felt like he was not fulfilled when he wasn't working. I think he had 9 children or something, but he felt his happiest when he was at work. And that work, he had patients, right, that he would talk to and try to help through hysteria. He was brought in to try to discover a cure for hysteria, which was like tics and all that. Now we know what they are, but back then they didn't. He brought some of the clients that he was doing talk therapy with on vacation with him because he could not separate himself enough to take some time to go on vacation. He was that just driven to discover the solution to these problems and to really dive into what is consciousness, and what is this hysteria problem, better understanding the human mind. I just fear that we don't have many people that ask themselves questions like that anymore, and to be able to pull things out of thin air, these ideas and your own ideas within, I should say, also, like, What makes you you? People don't sit with that question anymore. It's almost like we're all the same thing, just mindlessly walking around. We don't have, like, Thoreau would have been nowadays Thoreau would be a huge weirdo. You know, people look at him like, what is this dude doing? He's a weirdo. Freud, they said he was eccentric. People kind of shit on him, you know, when he was releasing his papers. Yeah, that was my little revelation I made while trying to read. I shouldn't say while reading. I'm trying to read it. It's slow going. I'm a idiot at heart, so definitely got to use some Google and stuff and write in the margins. But you guys know the drill. I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Peace.